Hi there, hope you had an amazing Christmas.
Welcome to our look back at some of the big stories we brought you during 2024.
A general election was held on November 29th, with adults all over Ireland voting for who they wanted to represent them in the next Dáil.
But just 3 weeks before that, Donald Trump won the US presidential election, securing a second term in the White House.
The rule of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad was ended after 13 years of civil war.
A year on from the October 7th Hamas attacks in Israel, fighting continues in the Middle East, while Israel and neighbouring Lebanon having since agreed on a ceasefire.
Climate change remained a huge global issue, with 2024 well on its way to being the hottest on record.
Fighting continues between Ukraine and Russia, and multiple proposed plans for peace have broken down.
And Team Ireland had a hugely successful summer of sport at both the Olympics and the Paralympics in Paris.
There were plenty of other stories too, and as always, News Today was there to keep you in the loop.
Now, when the general election was called for November 29th, we knew you'd want to have your say. So we asked you to send in your questions to the main party leaders on issues that mattered to you.
And you did, with questions on homelessness, health, education and the environment. But we also asked them about their hidden talents and what their toy show talent would be.
I've been asked to dance on a number of occasions. When I was up in Monaghan, we were jiving. When I was in Kerry, we were Irish dancing. So I'm definitely not going to make Dancing with the Stars, but I guess I'd have to give that a go on the toy show.
Maybe juggling, because I'm good at that. I've had to do that all my life because I'm a mammy and I'm a politician and I'm always busy, so juggling.
My toy show talent probably would make impressions of people. When I was in school, I used to be able to take off every teacher, mimic them, not when the teacher was around, of course. That might get me into trouble in odd time, but after a while, teachers actually began to enjoy it themselves.
We also brought you a fascinating fact of the day in our election section with the assistance of some of our super helpers.
Candidates often use posters to promote their campaigns, but they must be removed within 7 days after the election to keep public spaces clean and tidy.
And as with every election, there were winners and losers. The Green Party lost all but one of its seats, while smaller parties like Labour and the Social Democrats won more than in the last election. The biggest party was Fianna Fáil with 48 seats. Next was Sinn Féin, who won 39, followed by Fine Gael on 38. Coalition talks are continuing between the politicians, and it's hoped we will have a new government before the end of January.
And we met so many wonderfully talented young people in 2024. Take a look.
Charlie Sweeney is a talented young footballer and a serious boxing contender. Now it turns out he is a top-class sprinter as well. The 8-year-old can run 55 metres in 8 seconds.
Takes a lot of hard work, including jogging, sprinting.
Charlie is my friend and he's going to New York to race.
I hope I win and I'll mean a lot to my family, because then I'll be the only world champion in my family.
You try and learn a bit more about engineering. Some were building and some were figuring out a problem. We've been working really hard to maintain our school grounds and learn more about biodiversity. If one species is in decline, it could affect the whole ecosystem.
We were organising a live stream just for a chance to look at what we could do in the future.
It's always just adults talking on the news or anything. People sometimes think it's not more important to hear kids' opinions.
So what are you dancing in Prague for?
Dance for a cup.
And do you think you're going to win?
Yeah.
It's your own unique painting and it's always going to be different to everyone else's.
It makes you more focused on the golf, and then you forget about the work you do at
After the concert hall, like, the joy is like all around the city.
People would be sad, would make them feel happy.
I'm only 14 and never in a million years did I think that I would be representing my country.
And there were lots of other stories making the news around the world this year.
Fighting continued in the Middle East with more than 40,000 people dying as a result. The fighting spread to Lebanon, but a ceasefire was announced there in November, but not, however, in Gaza. The Irish government officially recognised Palestine as a sovereign and independent state in May, and the Palestinian flag was raised outside Leinster House.
Former US President Donald Trump is heading back to the White House after he won the presidential election in November. He beat Democrat candidate Kamala Harris, who replaced current President Joe Biden when he pulled out of the race.
In December, the leader of Syria, Bashar al-Assad, was overthrown by a rebel group called HTS. His family had ruled Syria for more than 50 years and were known to be brutal leaders. Civil war has been ongoing in Syria since 2011, and Syrian people all over the world celebrated the news. Al-Assad and his family fled to Moscow.
In March, Vladimir Putin won the Russian presidential election, getting almost 88% of the vote. Some Western leaders said the vote wasn't free or fair. He has been in power now for 25 years. Meanwhile, February marked the second anniversary of the start of the war in Ukraine. At that time, there were around 18,000 Ukrainian children enrolled in schools in Ireland. Here are how some of them were getting on.
I have lots of friends in here, and I have kind teachers, kind friends, and I can speak a little bit good in English. I learned piano. I'm in third class, and I love this country.
They were different because they didn't know what to do in a new country. So, like, that would be us thinking, like, if we were to move to a different country, how would it make us feel? So we had to take that into acceptance and take a walk in their shoes, basically, and that's how we would never feel welcomed.
The summer of 2024 was one of the hottest on record, and climate remained a big issue this year. And in November, world leaders, climate activists and experts gathered in Azerbaijan for COP29, an annual climate meeting. And our correspondent George Lee was there for News Today.
Hi News Today. Well, the update today is there's a new report which confirms that the amount of money that they're trying to come together with is $1 trillion for the poorer countries, $1 trillion. And I looked it up. How long would it take to count to 1 trillion? It's got 12 zeros in it, one with 12 zeros. I looked it up on Google, 32,000 years. We'd never get there. So there's a lot of work to be done here.
And climate change is an issue we know you care a lot about. Here's what some of you had to say about it.
So we got like shovels and we got split up into teams and we digged and then we put like pots in there and then they just dissolve and then they turn into big plants.
If everyone can work together, we can solve all the world's problems.
It was dresses and t-shirts and all made out of old clothes and all that kind of stuff that you'd usually throw away.
It's a time when we learn and appreciate the oceans and all they do for us.
Bees pretty much keep us alive. They make honey, and if we didn't have bees, there would basically be no flowers and all.
It helps pollution not to happen.
We put like apples that have been eaten and all, and then we bring it to the wormery that's over there.
I think it's really great how we're planting trees, and we got to miss a bit of school, which is always nice.
Now, there were lots of other big stories in the news from home this year. In March, after 20 years in politics, Leo Varadkar stepped down from his role as Taoiseach and leader of Fine Gael. In a surprise announcement, he told the public that he believed he was no longer the best person for the job. He was replaced by former Minister for Further Education, Simon Harris. At 37, he took Varadkar's previously held record as the youngest ever Taoiseach.
And earlier that month, voters voted against the family and care referendum. Proposals to change the wording in the Constitution to include families which are not based on marriage were defeated with 67.7% voting no. And a second proposed change on the wording around the role of women in the home saw 73.9% of voters rejecting it. It was the highest ever no vote percentage in any Irish referendum.
It was a busy year for elections as Ireland went to the polls to decide who would represent them in both their local county councils and in the European Parliament. 949 seats across 31 local councils were filled, and some 13 Irish members of the European Parliament, or MEPs, were elected. And in Limerick, the people chose the first ever directly elected mayor in Ireland.
Homelessness in Ireland hit another record high this year. Some 14,760 people were found to be using emergency accommodation, including 4,561 children in 2,133 families.
Swiftmania took Ireland by storm in June. Over 150,000 Swifties descended on Dublin City to witness the pop megastar perform a trio of sold-out gigs in the Aviva as part of her Eras tour.
But Taylor wasn't the only superstar to make waves this year, as in May, the Cabin Crew and Lisdoon Barna crew burst onto the scene with The Spark, the song of the summer. The terrific tune became an instant sensation when it hit the airwaves, racking up millions of views across social media. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what they do next.
Now, it wouldn't be news today without a few of our furry friends and possum pals. Now, we are crazy about animals on this show, and my favourite had to be Moo Deng, the pygmy hippo calf from Thailand who took the internet by storm. What was yours?
Well, I loved Emily and Birdie, the baby giraffes who always seem to have their heads in the clouds. And here are some of our other favourite possum pals. First up, it's Neil the seal, who had been popping up at beaches, on roads and even driveways in an Australian town, garnering him celebrity status among locals and internet followers alike.
And now to Copenhagen Zoo, where an endangered Asian elephant was born in February. Within a few minutes of being born, the baby female was up on her feet and getting to know the rest of the herd.
In Whipsnade, an endangered Francois Langer primate was also finding his feet. Child to mum Lulu and dad Wong, the flame-haired kid was born with red hair, which will eventually turn black as it gets older.
We were jumping for joy when we saw these cute animals with a spring in their step at Oregon Zoo. To celebrate Leap Day on February 29th, they had lots of fun hopping, jumping, leaping, swimming and diving.
Our happy feet didn't stop there, as just 2 weeks late in Oregon Zoo, a tiny Humboldt chick began pipping. The new arrival, which can fit in the palm of your hand, was the 194th Humboldt chick to hatch at the zoo since it began breeding the threatened species over 40 years ago.
Now we go to the southern white rhino calf who was born in February. It weighed 45 kilograms when born, and within just 2 hours, the tiny rhino started taking his first wobbly steps with his mum close to his side.
In Tierpark, Berlin, 1-month-old rollaway monkey cub Kiru got lots of TLC from his carers. The little one was still getting used to life in the group, but I'm sure at this point he is doing plenty of monkeying about.
It was Surf's Up for some adventurous dogs who took part in the popular annual Dog Surfathon competition in America, and these super surfers took to it like dogs to water.
These cows were more than ready to move back home. These beautiful bovines were dressed up to the nines for the annual Alpine Cow Parade, and they all look utterly wonderful if I do say so myself.
In China, Dang Sheng, the giant panda, seemingly defied gravity over high tree branches as she showed off her bare-knuckle brilliance with a series of skillful moves. Now, I don't know about you, but I got a real kick out of this playful panda. Now, every year we are so impressed by the many children we meet who show courage, kindness, and the ability to face and overcome challenges in their lives. Here are just some of those children. Diagnosed with congenital heart disease, Ben had keyhole surgery when he was just 17 months old and still has follow-ups every year in Crumlin Hospital. However, Ben does not let that stop him, following his passion for ballet while strutting his stuff on the under-15 Irish baseball team.
I never felt held back by it at all. Sport has helped a lot with it, as it's like made sure that my heart's always kept going and like never at a break. Sport is very important to me.
Around 40,000 people live with IBD in Ireland. However, Mia believes many of those affected may be embarrassed to talk about or even seek treatment for their symptoms.
So many teenagers are diagnosed, or it's under the wraps and they're not diagnosed because they just won't speak. And I find it really, really upsetting because I wouldn't speak. you don't have to be afraid that you won't be believed. You'll always be believed, and there will always be something that can be done for you.
Irish Sign Language Awareness Week not only seeks to promote the rights of deaf people here, but share the importance of ISL in making Ireland a place for all.
Of course, like, they have a choice whether or not they want to learn, but I think it would be valuable if they learned so they could communicate with deaf people, be it in school or in education. Deaf people have a right to their culture and their identity. Myself, I have a deaf identity. I was born in Lithuania and I moved then to Ireland, so I have various aspects to my identity and I'm very proud to be deaf.
Now, working on News Today means you never know where you'll be or what you'll get up to. Take a look at this.
The biggest gathering of minions Eglarit Osquelaga ever. Take it away, guys.
So first off here at CHI Tala, Ben here is taking my height and weight. So I am standing at a generous 1'5" here at the minute.
When I do a full loop of this, I feel different forces, similarly to how an astronaut feels when a rocket takes off.
Right, let's do this thing. Oh! Oh! Oh.
Getting up and moving about has lots of benefits. It can make you feel better, give you more energy, and the more you do it, the stronger you'll become.
Bees are so important for our environment. Not only do they make delicious honey, but they also spread pollen for our plants and promote biodiversity. So guys, are we buzzing?
Yeah!
Oh! Did I save that?
It starts with toy, ends with show, and officially kicks off the Christmas season.
I'm in Dublinia to do just that. Excellent beard, my friend. Hit me with your best shot. Oh! No! I don't think these guys need any more training. But up! No!
This year we said goodbye to some well-known people who brought joy to the lives of many. And even though they are gone, their inspiration lives on.
Saoirse Ruan, the young County Galway girl who inspired the annual Late Late Toy Show appeal, died in March. The 12-year-old had a rare form of cancer and overcame many challenges in her short life. President Higgins said her strength and warmth was an inspiration to all.
Former News Today presenter Nick Sheridan also died in March after a short illness. Originally from Wexford, he worked for the BBC in Scotland and wrote several children's books. Scotland's former top minister, Nicola Sturgeon, described him as young, talented and full of potential.
One of Ireland's best-known journalists, Charlie Bird, died in March at the age of 74 after a long battle with motor neuron disease. He had reported on some of the biggest stories at home and abroad during his 40-year career and inspired many people with his attitude to his illness, raising over €3 million for charity.
Legendary GAA Games commentator Michal O'Muir-Hurtig died in June at the age of 93. His colourful commentary accompanied many of the All-Irelands and the biggest Gaelic matches. The Taoiseach Simon Harris said, "The word legend gets used too often, but for Michal, it is almost not enough." Now, as well as us going out to visit you, sometimes you come to visit us. Here are just some of the amazing children who came into studio this year to talk about issues that are very important to them.
When I was a little baby, I had cancer in my kidneys, and they had to take it out, and I had to go on dialysis, and my mum gave her kidney to me then.
Wow. And you were 4 when you got your new kidney, weren't you?
Yeah.
And how were you before you got a new kidney?
Well, feeling very sick and not well at all.
In April, I had brain surgery, which is a good 6 months ago by now, but that was an experience of its own. I've definitely looked back at that time and it's just mad. It's just overwhelming to actually think about what has actually happened in my life. I actually just still up to this day don't believe what it's gone through. It takes the brain a year to heal with the surgery, and that's not until April. So I am behind in a few subjects, but I am just so grateful to be back in school, back with my friends and back playing the sports I love. Just focus on the positives.
Before we let you go, Eli, you have something to say in Chinese, is that right?
学习汉语为我打开了一个通往更广阔世界的大门，让我了解更多的文化，结交更多的新朋友，让我变得更包容。
Now, 2024 was a super busy year for sport, and for Team Ireland at the Olympics and Paralympics in Paris over the summer, it was nothing short of historic. With 4 gold and 3 bronze medals, Team Ireland's record-breaking Olympic exploits in Paris were the crown jewel of our nation's sporting success on the world stage this year. Diving right in, our mass swimmer Daniel Wiffen made a splash at his first ever Olympics by securing Ireland's first gold medal of the Games, winning out in the men's 800-metre freestyle swimming final. And just 5 days later, Wiffen took home the bronze medal in the 1500-metre freestyle final, becoming the first Irishman to win 2 Olympic swimming medals.
Another golden moment in Irish Olympic history. Paul O'Donovan and Fintan McCarthy together in Olympic dreams.
Paul O'Donovan and Fintan McCarthy rode into Olympic history by successfully defending their gold medal in the men's lightweight double sculls, becoming the first Irish athletes to do so in almost a century. O'Donovan is also the first ever Irish athlete to win medals at 3 games. But the Irish were far from one-trick ponies, as down gymnast Rhys McClenaghan showed on the pommel horse, winning gold for Team Ireland after a wonderful performance. McClenaghan is now Ireland's first ever medalist in gymnastics.
In blue, she's done it again! Kelly Harrington, 2-time gold medalist.
Kelly Harrington ended her remarkable boxing career in style by becoming the first Irish woman to win back-to-back gold medals in Paris, beating out China's Wenlu Yang 4-1 in the 60kg lightweight final. But before all that, Sligo swimmer Mona McSharry won Ireland's first medal of the Games with bronze in the women's 100-metre breaststroke, while Philip Doyle and Darragh Lynch also won bronze medals in the men's rowing double sculls. Capping off the summer in style, it's safe to say Team Ireland's Paralympians picked up from our record-breaking Olympic success and ran with it. Para swimmer Roisin Rain earned Ireland's first medal of the Games, bagging silver in the 100-metre backstroke and bronze in the 200-metre medley. Triple threat Katie George Dunleavy clinched gold in the Women's B time trial in paracycling, as well as silver in the Women's B road race and the 3,000-metre pursuit. And in para-athletics, Orla Comerford bagged Team Ireland their first bronze medal, strutting her stuff in the women's 100-metre event.
But that's not all that went down. At home, Armagh beat out Galway in the men's All-Ireland football final. The tightly contested battle ended 111 to 13 points, marking their second time ever to lift the Sam Maguire Cup.
A superb display from Kerry in the All-Ireland ladies final saw the Kingdom easily beat out Galway to lift the Brennan Martin Cup for the first time since 1993. The final score there, 3-14 to 11 points.
3 points in a row in the final minutes of the Camogie final saw Cork edge away from a Galway deadlock, securing back-to-back All-Ireland glory for the Rebel County with a score of 116 to 16 points.
And in a thrilling men's hurling final, Clare came out victorious with a dramatic 1-point win in extra time over Cork at Croke Park to clinch the Liam McCarthy Cup for the first time since 2013.
Back to the world stage in March, Ireland clinched the 2024 Six Nations Championship with a decisive win over Scotland in Dublin. The victory marked their second consecutive title after their 2023 Grand Slam victory.
And in football, Spain beat England 2-1 at the Euro 2024 final with a late goal, becoming European champions for the 4th time, while Shelbourne won the League of Ireland title for the first time since 2006.
Now, we love visiting your schools to find out what you're getting up to, and you're a busy bunch. Take a look.
Show the room what you can do. Move to the mule, got the moves. I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. I'm better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. And we can do this together. I bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah,
Well, that's our look back at all of the big stories of 2024.
Now, don't forget, News Today will be back in the new year with lots of news stories, and we can't wait to meet lots of you too. Happy New Year!